Hola. Adios. Baño. Tequila.
Cerveza.
Cerveza.
That's a good one.
Baño.
Yeah. Gracias. We're learning.
Why are we giving you those words? It'll all make sense in a moment.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking Scheetz.
Yes, it's Talking Scheetz. Thank you, Dan Davidson. It's Chris and Baillie and Chris, whichever way you want to look at it. We're certainly not in our normal, comforts, our normal.
Location. Our
Thank
normal. The comfort of our studio in the basement heater room.
Right.
But it's just as hot.
Yeah.
Where we are.
It is just as hot, but it's somehow so much better, really.
It is.
All right. We are in Mexico. We're in Bucerías, which is just outside of Puerto Vallarta, just a little bit west. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, you can see the beautiful sunset in the distance. There is nothing. I mean, I love an Alberta sunset, but there's nothing like Mexico Pacific side sunset.
We could have had a bit of a better sunset,
Yeah.
but we were a little late.
We were taking a lot of time to get this all put together.
It's not as easy to take a podcast on the road as maybe we thought. There's a lot of stuff involved.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But
yeah.
we're here.
We're here, and we're going to try to do this before it gets dark. We'll see how that works.
Yes.
I kind of wish it was dark as I headed the other direction. Shout out to producer Renato.
Yes.
Can we use his name now?
Yes. Renato.
Renato.
It's kind of Spanish.
Renato. He's wearing some kind of weird shorts.
They're swim shorts.
His shirt is awkwardly open at the bottom by the pupuk, which is also known as that's Ukrainian for belly button.
He definitely missed a button, or maybe it's a look. I don't know. Okay, he says it's a look.
Close your legs.
If you notice that the camera is swaying a bit more, you haven't had too many drinks if you're watching on YouTube, and we haven't had too many drinks.
Right.
It's actually just that we didn't bring a tripod.
And there is a reason why we're not getting the birthday boy, your brother Carter, because it's his birthday on April 7th when this is released, because he would be swaying. The guy.
Oh, yes.
The guy definitely couldn't hold her
He's
straight.
been having a good time.
Yeah. What is his drink of choice? I don't. He's always got his Yeti thing mug, but
Is it beer in there?
you can always tell somebody that likes to drink in Mexico because they take their Yeti drink into the pool.
It's like the Stanleys and the Yetis, which are big jugs, and they get them filled at the bar. And yeah. There was an amazing man that we saw in the pool.
Yes.
There's always aquasize or water aerobics at many of these Mexican resorts, and so at noon every day there's water aerobics, and we have our favorite guy. We don't participate in the water aerobics, we just watch it.
Yeah.
But our favorite guy.
Yeah, get a sweat up going just watching.
Oh yeah, we're sweating sitting there.
Yeah.
But there is a guy that he does it every day,
Yeah.
and he's got his Yeti mug, and he's going back and forth with the water aerobics, but he's with his Yeti, and he's switching hands so that he can kind of get an even workout in. And that is a commitment, one, to drinking.
Yes.
But two, to water aerobics.
Yes.
Like he's dead serious. It's incredible.
Better than me.
But back to forgetting a tripod.
Yeah.
Basically, producer Renato, in his outfit that was described earlier, is sitting in our hotel room. We're on the balcony. He's kind of pressed against the bed, holding his phone.
Yes. The Italian tripod. Don't Google it.
No, don't Google Italian tripod. We wouldn't be allowed back in the country if we did that.
All right, let's start at the beginning because we never do.
Yes.
Again, we're in Mexico, and thanks, shout out. This, our first on-the-road podcast brought to you by Network Travel. Rick McSwain, he's been doing it for so many years, and he does it better than anybody else on the planet. We went to Africa with him last year. It was incredible. We're going to Japan later this month with Rick and Network Travel. And, of course, they hook up all these Mexico trips as well and make just everything happen. So shout out to Network Travel. They are all about experiences and making sure yours is just the best. And our experience has been fantastic. Getting to the airport.
Yeah.
Why was that so important?
Well, thanks to our other friends at Londonderry Dodge. Packing for a baby for this is her first big trip.
Right.
7 days. You don't realize how many things she requires at home until you have to take them on the road.
Right.
And packing for this was It was an absolute nightmare, honestly. It was like I felt like I was missing so many things, and we had so many things.
Yeah.
And I'm a light packer. I travel a lot for work when I'm not on maternity leave.
Are you serious? You're a light packer?
I am.
You're joking?
You haven't traveled with me in a while.
All
I
right.
got very good.
Okay.
When I was traveling every second week
All right.
in the past few years,
Yeah.
I was really good at compact packing. That's not possible with a baby.
No.
So we had 2 giant suitcases, a travel crib, a carry-on, diaper bags, and all of that fit into our Jeep Compass Trailhawk from Londonderry Dodge.
Okay, I see the work you did there. That's
Yeah.
impressive. All right. Well, the rest of us came in the Dodge, the Ram, of course, and we just threw everything in the box, and it worked out really well. We had the birthday boy Carter with his wife Helen, of course, and yeah, as far as I can recall, it seems like it's been a year. You know how when you're away it's been a good trip when it seems like you've been away a long time.
Yeah, I've lost all concept of time.
Exactly. But anyway, Londonderry, again, Mitch and Jamie and the staff there will treat you right. Once we got on the airplane, we flew here with WestJet. And tell us about the experience you had as you got onto the airplane. You got on before us because you had the baby.
Yeah, pre-boarding, which again is not something I've ever got to do before, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
why are everybody in a hurry to get on an airplane? I don't understand.
normally I'm the last to get on.
I'm the
Yeah.
last one to get on too. Even if I could get on, I'm never in a hurry to get that seatbelt on and get uncomfortable in that plane. But anyway, you got a baby.
Yeah, with all of her stuff again, as
right.
mentioned. You got to gate check the stroller, and so we're rushing out of the plane. I am sweating through my clothes already.
Yeah.
It is just like such a family affair getting everyone ready. I get onto the plane, and a lovely, lovely flight attendant looks at me and says, "Oh, what a beautiful baby. Is this her first flight?" And then she locks eyes with Leona,
Right.
my 7-month-old child,
Yeah.
and says, "It's Leona. Oh my gosh, you're Bailey. I love talking Scheetz."
Okay.
And then she exclaims to the first class crowd that is already boarded on the plane,
Yeah.
"This is my favorite podcaster. She's on the plane. This is Leona." I have never in my life felt
Yeah.
famous
Yeah.
until that moment.
Yeah.
And that was sweet Melanie from
Yeah.
WestJet.
Yes.
She was incredible.
She was incredible.
She took care of us on that flight.
She was even a little excited to see me, but she was way more excited to see you and Leona, and she took care of us. We could have really taken advantage of that situation.
Oh, yes. She said anything we wanted.
I had a couple of Caesars. They were really, really good, and it was fantastic. So shout out to Melanie. She says she listens everyone. She hasn't missed one, and she just loves them. So
And it was recently her birthday as well,
That's
the
right.
day after we flew. So
that's right.
happy belated birthday to Melanie, and thank you for your support. It made us feel very cool on the plane. All the other flight attendants were like, "Oh, you're the VIPs." I'm like, "Well, we're in row 24, so we're not that VIP." But it did make us feel very special, and it was cool to be recognized.
We got first class in row 23, which is ironic because not ironic. Sorry, wrong word, maybe. But I've
We
got
need an
I've
irony
got a
button.
cousin Jeremy Scheetz, who is a WestJet pilot. We're very proud of him, and I've never had a chance to fly with him because he's taken a lot of our family and friends on the plane, and when he does, and neighbors, he always takes care of them, but we never get them. So
No,
we got Melanie.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Melanie, 39 years old. Flight attendant from Sherwood Park. Okay,
Yes.
so the flight was great. The baby did incredible. You were
Yes.
so worried.
I was so nervous because
Yeah.
she's a good baby.
Yeah.
She's not a crier.
But
so
we
I-
just keep waiting for that to change, right?
and just she's very active.
Yeah.
She's not a crier, but she likes to move.
Yeah.
And you can't move much in the window seat of an airplane, but you know what? It was just under a 5-hour flight. It could not have gone better. Fingers crossed for the way home.
Yeah.
Because I am always still scared.
You
But
never know.
she did a pretty good job.
Okay, so you get to the airport, you got to go through customs, and there's like 1 million people there in Puerto Vallarta. It was crazy, but they got us through decently well. It probably took 45 minutes. It was, and then we get on our bus, and then we were waiting for some people to get on the bus, and everybody's on the bus, and we just all want to get to the resort. We flew later in the day, so you just want to get to the resort. You're hungry, you're tired, and
Everyone's still wearing their sweatpants from the plane, and you're
yeah.
dressed way too warm.
And we're waiting for like 4 people. And they said, "Oh, we're waiting for 4 people. We can't leave." Okay, fair enough. So then all of a sudden these lovely ladies, God bless them, come wandering in like whatever, but they've got their case of beer, bus beers. I get it, but we must have waited 15, 20 minutes for them to get their bus beers. So I probably should have taken one. They were offering them. to
They
people.
were. They meant well.
They meant well,
They
but
meant
they had
well
no idea.
that
And
it was
I
a
sound like
long-
an old complaining person, but
Yeah.
and they had no idea that everybody had been waiting for like 20 minutes for them to get their bus beers.
And we were in a unique situation too. A long travel day with a baby. You're tired. You're hot. There was actually a couple babies on the bus.
There
So
was.
I feel like there was just a little bit more for us. We are maybe not in the phase of life where we can be like, yay, bus beers. Like
Right.
they were more laissez-faire about it. For
Sure, they were. Good, whatever that word means. So, I didn't know that it was getting hot on the bus, and I didn't realize, and we're like, maybe this could affect the baby. So we get rolling towards the resort here, and it's like a half-hour drive or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting ahead of the producer, Renato, and his wife and daughter, and they're saying, Renato's going to throw up. He needs a bag. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know. He can't. The bathrooms are locked in the back of the bus. He kept going back there to try to get.
Yeah.
What a terrible situation when you're on a bus and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to go in the bathroom and do the nasty in there privately, and the Mexican bathrooms are locked up.
Yeah, and the bus driver had no desire to open them. So I don't know what was going on.
I went to the front panicking, and there was another guy at the front of the bus with him, kind of a his whatever assistant bus driver, and I said we've got a guy that was going to throw up, and they're like, oh, and I said, and do you have a garbage can or anything? And they're like, nope. So this lady like 2 rows back is like she's everybody panics on the bus
Everyone
when
was
somebody's going to
involved.
throw up because
it did bring the bus together.
yeah, because instantly you've got skin in the game.
Yeah, when a grown man is looking how he did.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think though that maybe those bus drivers were like, oh, another partier. Like he got
Yeah,
too drunk on the
yeah.
plane. Maybe they didn't have sympathy.
Maybe
they
they
didn't
thought
realize
it was one of the bus beer girls.
they didn't realize that this was just a tired dad who
Yeah.
didn't eat enough food
Yeah.
and was on a very bumpy and hot bus ride.
So a lady, she pulls all of her like auxiliary cords and everything out of a little plastic sandwich bag, and she says, "Take this, take this." So I take it back there, and then there was another bag, and let's just say producer Randy lost his brekkie. He lost his Boston pizza. Oh no, we didn't eat a Boston
Yeah,
pizza.
that's a whole other thing.
We want them to sponsor someday, so we won't tell our Boston Pizza airport story. I'm just saying, if you're in a hurry or if your flight is going to be leaving,
At any point in the
Edmonton
day?
International Airport, maybe don't order at Boston Pizza. I felt so bad. but
You're sounding really like
I'm
a
complaining.
grumpy old man
I
in this
love
one.
I love this trip. I
Yeah.
know, but all of a sudden I'm highlighting all the things that kind of.
Yeah, you're being.
I apologize. Everything was great. Renato throws up.
He throws up, and
Yeah.
after a long travel day,
Yeah.
I've been taking care of the baby. He also has a lot of flight anxiety, which is a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
so I have been doing a lot to take care of the baby. I look over and now I'm taking care of this man. I pass off the baby.
Because it's suggested the lady behind you says, "Give that baby to someone.
Give that baby to someone and handle this man.
Deal with your other baby."
But he did his best. It was
Yeah.
again a long day. He lost his cookies on the bus, and the good news is I told him again we're at an all-inclusive. Drinks are free. Drinks are flowing. He lost his puke card or his get sick card day one.
On the way here.
Yeah,
And
there's no more of that
we
allowed.
talked about it last episode that his daughter Leona pukes and rallies.
Yeah.
This guy puked and rallied.
He did.
He came to the buffet and he ate more nachos than the rest of the resort did that night
Yes.
by himself.
And
So shout out to him.
Continued to do that every single day.
Now, when he brings his food to the plate, and I'm eating like a pig here. Like
We all are. We all
I'm
are.
embarrassed how much I'm eating. But when he brings his plates to the table, everybody stares at them in disbelief.
Yeah.
And the guy is like, it's just so frustrating that
He can eat. He can eat.
he's lucky, you know.
We really should definitely not be talking down upon him when he can't move his arms right now. The Italian tripod is doing a good job so far. Are you getting sore?
No, don't talk to him. He might throw up. I hope he's not going to get motion sickness. Okay, why do you have Chris working on vacation as the next thing to talk about?
Oh, well, I thought that this could be a safe space
Yeah.
to discuss the fact that we haven't actually seen you in a few days.
Right. I've got some things on the go with my Alberta Dreams job, and in fact, we might. I haven't talked to you about this yet, but we might do a short bonus, a bonus edition of the Talking Scheetz podcast middle of the week because there'll be an announcement about a really cool event coming, and maybe we could use Talking Scheetz as an unbelievable platform to promote it.
I can't plan for anything that is happening beyond tomorrow, you know, like once we're home, sure.
Okay. Well, no, I think we might do it here because we're not going to have time at home. Anyway, we'll talk.
Wow. Okay.
We'll talk about that.
So
I've been
booked
working.
and busy.
I have been grinding here.
Yes, you've been I have never seen you like this.
No, well, I'm trying to make things happen for the kids.
I know.
We got to make more dreams happen through Alberta Dreams, and there's something big that'll be announced shortly. And I've been grinding to try to make this happen.
You are laptop in hand, and it's kind of a bit of a role reversal because the prior 2 years before I had Leona, my job with the Oilers, I was just my laptop was with us everywhere I went all the time, and now I'm seeing it from the other side, and I'm like, whew. Yeah, but at least you're making dreams happen.
That's the point.
You're living the Alberta dream in Bucerias, Mexico.
I might be getting an Alberta divorce, but I'm making Alberta dreams happen.
She's not thrilled. No.
Okay, so that's happening. Okay, let's talk about people you see on vacation at resorts and things like that. Let's highlight some of the, and you see them wherever you go. If you're lucky enough to go on one of these vacations, maybe it's provided by Network Travel. You'll see things, right? And you'll see things. And give us some examples, first of all.
Well, we love the people watching at a resort like this. It's like the best part. We already talked about Aquasize Guy, which was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But there's also just that one guy at the resort that you see everywhere who is seemingly drunk the entire time. You're not sure. Or maybe it's just his personality.
It's probably not drunk. He's probably high.
Severely sunburned.
Uh-huh.
And just always there.
Everywhere.
Yeah, just everywhere you look. There's like 20 of them
if we
at the resort.
If we looked off the deck right now, he's probably swimming in this little pool.
Yeah, we have met a friend who is.
Yeah, he's from Saskatchewan.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he is everywhere. I've never seen a man move so much without moving very fast.
The best was we saw him last night at the buffet, and he was by himself, which he's always got a son with him. I don't really see him with his wife. It doesn't matter. But he says, "Hey, you coming with me to the casino?" And he's friends with Carter. Carter makes friends with everybody at a resort. Carter has there's a reason, right? yeah, you know what, you play with the bull, you're going to get the horn. So, but he says, "Carter, you coming with me to the casino?" And Carter's like, "Oh, I don't know." He says, "Yeah, wife went in early tonight, so I got free reign." And I'm like, what have the other days been like?
Well, what does free reign look like? That's kind of terrifying.
I'm pretty sure he's in jail.
We haven't seen him tonight, so.
I didn't see him. Can I say one more thing about him that's kind of fun? Can I?
I don't care, but make sure he's not beside us.
No, he's got a tramp stamp, okay? Which I've never seen a man with a tramp stamp before.
I'm scared.
Are you scared?
I'm a little bit scared. We should whisper.
Really nice guy. I'm guessing he lost a bet because that's the kind of guy he is.
Or it's a recognizable look. They're coming back.
On men?
I've
never seen a tramp stamp on a man. I don't know. But anyway, to each your own. But fun guy. Fun guy.
So fun.
All right. Aquasize Guy we talked about.
There's many people from here, from Alberta, from Saskatchewan, just a big Canadian population.
Oh, huge. Every time they say Canada, everybody, woo!
Yeah. There's always a farmer.
Yeah.
And the farmer that is wearing full denim and a plaid shirt at the pool the entire time, the full week.
Yeah.
And I love that. Trucker hat, the whole 9 yards.
He's got his jeans on, so you're thinking, oh, he must be going home. No.
No.
He's getting set for the day.
Yeah, all day. It's just all he owns. Why would you buy...
That's commitment.
Why would you buy a new wardrobe for something like
Total
this?
commitment.
You know?
Total commitment.
Yeah. There's also the people... One thing at a resort, again, if you've ever been lucky enough, you've experienced the challenge that is chair saving.
Okay, yes.
Reserving.
Yes, we're talking about the lounge chairs.
At the pool.
And they scientifically have it figured out. There's 2 less than the amount of people at the resort. So there's always 2 people shut out. And so they're trying to figure this out. So the last resort we were at, was it the last one or the one even before that? It was brutal. It was like we were putting them out in the middle of the night.
It's the Hunger Games.
Getting up at 4 in the morning to put your towel on your chair so you can have a chair.
The earlier people go, then earlier. But at this point,
we caused and affected it. That was not the last trip we were on anyway. But I'm lucky enough to try to get my trips confused. But the one trip we put them out right at midnight, and then people started putting them out at 11. Like you could see how. You can affect a whole bunch of different people with putting their towels out because they want their chairs. Chairs are important, and so
in a beach situation for sure,
you need enough of them.
We do have to give a shout out. You've been making fun of Carter a little bit, but Carter and Leslie, his wife, they have held it down in terms of getting us the chairs and getting us dinner reservations.
They've
organized us because
they love doing that
Renato,
stuff.
Leona, and I, we're just trying to make it through the day every day here. She's been great, but it's a lot of work. We're feeding, sleeping, changing a diaper all the time.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to handle any of that, and you two are just
your mom, mom and I are like honeymooners here.
Yeah.
We're catching up on all the lost love that we haven't had. So
you're catching up on work, and she's in the room by herself.
but they turn off CNN and put your laptop away. Let's go to bed.
Hey, but that's the same thing she says at home. So at least it's happening in a beautiful location. Like, it could be so much worse.
Yeah. All right. Noisy neighbors.
Yeah, that's
like,
another thing.
We're saying like noisy neighbors, like catching up on love, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, those ones that seem to want to tell everybody else at the resort they're having a good time in their room.
Yeah. There's all kinds of noise, but that might be the worst.
Keep it to yourself.
We also have a baby, though, so
Right.
I probably can't complain about any kind of noise, although she's been really good.
Yeah. All right. I had one more that I thought of that would be really good, but let's talk about drunk at breakfast guy. But that was your brother. Because, see, he got up. He says, it's not my fault. I got up. I worked out. I put the towels there. I had a couple of coffee cappuccinos or whatever, and then he had a couple of drinks, and boom, that was it. He admitted later that day. He says, you know, guys, I was drunk at breakfast.
And he hadn't. It's not like he had been binge drinking.
No,
it was just the day got away from him, and also, again, waiting for us to get up. Waiting for all of us to get up and have breakfast. By the time we have breakfast, it's 11:30.
Right.
They've been up for 5 hours. He hasn't been eating, but he's been having a couple beers. You're done.
Okay.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not.
No.
So,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carter. We were going to put him on for his birthday, but he's not around.
He's not around.
Well, apparently he's still sleeping.
Yeah, he's taking a nap.
So, and it's nighttime.
Hey,
whatever.
some people sleep during the day, some people sleep at night.
There was another type of person I had, and I was like, okay, I'll wait till the end to bring it up. And now, darn it.
Well, see if you can.
Yeah, okay. Pool
think
people,
about
ocean people. There's two types of people in the world.
Yeah, I believe that you can learn a lot from someone by what they prefer.
Right.
Yeah. We've been pool people this trip, mostly for ease for the baby, because these waves here are pretty rough.
Yeah.
She's not going to go swimming in the waves.
Right.
But she loves the pool.
Right.
Like, swimming with Leona has been...
It's incredible.
Yeah.
There's one picture that you captured, which, I mean...
We can post it for sure.
Let's post it, and I said, if I don't have any more grandchildren before I pass away, make that my funeral card picture, because it's just the best. She's, like, so happy, and I'm kind of lifting her in the air, and it's just... It's having her in the pool is just... She is... I don't know what this means, but she's like, she loves.
She can swim.
She just like all four of her limbs are just flailing in there. So
she's a happy girl most of the time, but happiest.
I used to question parents that took their kids to swimming lessons when they're like 4 or 5 months old.
It's a thing now.
I kind of understand it. Like, I think she would probably get something out of that.
She would have an amazing time.
Yeah, it would.
Well, they say you're born able to swim, and then you lose the ability, and then you gain it back. Well, some people don't gain it back.
Right. Yeah.
But we're pool people this trip. I would say overall, though, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a couple of days when we popped in and done some wave hunting, as we're calling it, where we're just riding the waves, and it's pretty rough out there, but staying shallow. But I think generally I'm an ocean person. Now that I've had a kid, I guess I've transitioned into a pool person.
Okay. Yeah. I'm more of a pool. As I've gotten older, I love the ocean. Like, when we go to Huatuco, and I just go in that ocean and just bob around in it. In Puerto Vallarta, the ocean is not as, like, well, in Huatuco there's a bay, and so it's more... It's just, you can kind of bob around, and like today the wind was whipping and the waves.
You're vacation king on this episode. You're like, the ocean isn't good enough for me.
No. I'm just saying, the pool is consistent. I mean, yes, people have peed like crazy in it.
Yeah, but at least there's chemicals to combat that.
Yeah. Was it Helen, my daughter-in-law, that said she's peed in the pool? I can't remember.
I don't think that we should put anyone on blast for that.
I mean, a teacher would never do that.
You see a swim-up bar, and the swim up bar, and there's people that are there all day,
Yeah.
and they never leave.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're starting to be like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Because there's got to be things exiting. You're drinking all day. You're
Yeah,
in the pool.
that's the thing.
Nobody's getting out. That kind of freaks me out.
Yeah. All right.
There is some very loud music that has just turned on. So
The party has started, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
if you can hear that, hopefully we don't get copyrighted.
Okay. I thought of the people at the resort that you'll see.
Okay.
It's the couple that's way too fit.
Okay.
There's a pair of them on this trip.
They look amazing.
They do, and they're friends with our friend Ashley, who's originally a Martinuck. Her brother, Jordy Martinuck, is a friend of the show. He doesn't know it yet, but
yeah, he's definitely never listened to us, but
he might. No, he plays for the Carolina Hurricanes. Ashley's awesome.
Yeah.
And her friends are like ridiculously fit. These two people, you just want to, I don't know, you just go, how does that happen? Like I walked up to him and I said, we're not even the same species. I don't get it.
it's
just
a lot of hard work. And we haven't seen them in the buffet yet. I would imagine their plates don't look the same as ours.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But that's the other couple. All right. You burnt your scalp. You guys are so, and I love it. You're so paranoid about the sun because it is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And you're making sure Leona is completely protected. And then what did you go and do?
Well, I am a sunscreen person. Even
Yeah.
before the baby, I'm not I get tanned naturally a little bit, but I don't like to bake out in the sun. I'm very nervous about skin cancer, and I always am sunscreening everywhere. So top to bottom, Leona's covered. I do not leave the hotel room without full coverage of sunscreen, or full coverage, so I thought.
Yeah.
But this has never happened to me before. I burnt my part of my scalp like so badly.
Watch this on YouTube. You can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see my part. The worst sunburn I've ever gotten on my scalp, and that is it's a tough one because it hurts to shampoo. Even wearing it's burnt so badly that even wearing a hat hurts.
Yeah.
So there's really no coverage situation that it's tough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been wearing a babushka around.
Yeah.
And you gave me some flack for that.
Well, I just didn't know what was going on. It looked like you were like a 1950s movie star or something.
Well, that's a compliment.
Or somebody straight from the Ukraine. I couldn't decide. Here's the irony of doing the show. And in case, again, if you are seeing this on YouTube, you can see we're on the deck at the resort. But not one of these nights is the music fired up like this.
I'm kind of like, what's going on out
There's
here?
something going on.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get to that at some point. All right.
You know what? It kind of sets the vibe.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
The only person that's eating more at this resort than Renato, producer Renato, is his daughter Leona. She is loving the Mexican food, and it's just like you're giving her like
mashed potatoes, some fruits. There's steamed vegetables in the buffet, which is so convenient for her. So we, on the first few days, we're quite excited to let her. I'm excited.
Well, we're all eating like pigs. Why
Yeah.
can't she?
And also, like, at home, I have to prepare all this food, and it's like, oh, this is so convenient that it's here.
Yes.
The fruit and all these things that she can try.
So good.
But about day 3, we ran into some trouble.
Yeah.
She hadn't pooped in a little while,
Yeah.
and that hasn't happened in a little while, and we started to get a bit nervous that the
Yeah.
amount of food, the different type of food, all that stuff was
Yeah.
it was backing her up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, and it's not funny, like, because it's not. It's so horrific to watch her not be in pain. But oh my gosh, when she was winding up trying to get it out, like the faces she's making.
And she's clenching her poor little fists.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but
She's a pretty lucky girl and hasn't faced much adversity so far in
and
life.
that was it. That was her adversity.
That's her adversity was getting plugged up at the buffet. But what did heroic grandparents do?
We were gonna go to Puerto Vallarta Bucerias Walmart
Yeah.
and see if we could get her some prune baby food. And we leave the resort, and there's like a little store kind of connected with it, which by the way has Krispy Kreme donuts at it, which is kind of a nice touch. And
That just came to Edmonton.
and
Meanwhile,
we go into this convenience store, and I says, "Man, maybe there'll be baby food prunes here." Ha 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 ha. And she goes to the very very back of the store, and there's baby fruit prunes. So we buy 4 little jars, and then Morgan Black, TV star to the stars from Global, is on this trip.
friend
Not
of the show.
kind of, yeah, very much so, but. She wanted dental floss because she forgot some. So we buy.
And if you've seen her teeth,
that makes sense.
you got to take care of them.
She's got to floss those things 7 times
They're
a day.
perfect.
So we buy 4 jars of baby food, prunes, and a thing of dental floss, and it's 65 pesos. And I did the conversion just for fun. That's $4.97. Man, That's a good deal.
Yeah, baby food at home would have been like $3 a pouch or so. So we would have been like, if we had any room in our suitcases, we would be packing baby food home.
Yeah.
We have less than
There's
zero
no
room.
tariffs on the baby food, is there? Well, Mexico doesn't put the tariffs on, so we'll be okay.
Yes.
But anyway, got the prunes, and this little thing is pooping like a champ now.
Oh, a little bit too much, but yeah.
Never too much.
She's happy and healthy.
Unless it's in the pool. She's got a swim diaper.
Oh, we
so
doubled down on the swim diapers. There's no.
We
yeah.
should probably put a swim diaper on her dad, too.
He
'Cause that's the next thing that's going to happen to him, probably, I'm thinking.
With the amount he's eating?
Yeah. All right, Oiler games. Yeah. So you want to watch Oiler games when you're on vacation? Like, of course I do. I always do. I was in Africa watching them. I'd get up at 5 a.m. and watch these crazy games. We watched the game when the Oilers played the Vegas Golden Knights, and somebody brought a Fire Stick. They hooked it up to a TV. We're all just kind of watching and having fun with a whole bunch of Oiler fans that were quite critical of the team. It was funny because, and it's always the same, but when you get with a group of people, it's like they've got their favorites and they got the ones they cheer against, and then we ended up winning, so then everybody was our favorites, and it was all good.
I think it's funny to watch it in a different location. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you transported these people out of Rogers Place, like the top of Rogers Place, but plucked them into a sports bar in
Yes.
Mexico, and it's weirder. It's like
Yeah.
these are the same fans, and there's fans everywhere. We were walking down the beach today actually, and Renato and I both had our Oilers hats on because it's a game tonight as we're recording, and we're walking down the beach, and this sweet old man goes, "Go Oilers!"
Yeah.
It was just like we high-fived this man on the beach way down. Who knows where he's staying or whatever, but it is like creating a little community
Yeah.
within the resort, and it's nice. It's fun, even when they're angry.
No, Oiler fans are always angry.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
They still, it doesn't matter if Stuart Skinner wins us the Stanley Cup. They're still going to be convinced he sucks. Like, it just doesn't matter. Oiler fans hold the team to like a different level of expectation.
Yeah.
So, but that is fun. And there's always, when we were there, there's the one Flames fan there being annoying, and there's a couple of Canucks fans there being annoying.
It creates like a little microcosm of the NHL in a sports bar in Mexico.
But I told those guys, and I mean this year I'm cheering for all the Canadian teams. I'm cheering for the Oilers, but I even want the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I was gonna say even the Leafs.
Honestly, yeah, I'm just so I'm so
You're pro-Canada.
I am so Canadian right now. I'm
Yeah.
even willing to cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that is like the statement of the century for me.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Right.
There's even some Canadian flags people have out on their balconies around the hotel. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's-
like a real moment for sure.
There's a shirt that they're selling here, which has got a Mexican and Canadian flag, and it says, "Neither of us are for sale."
Yeah.
So it's lots of fun. But I mean, overall, obviously the trip is great. Don't get me wrong. I was kind of like a grumpy old man at the beginning, and I didn't mean to be because I'm having a great time. I probably need to work less, but you'll all realize why I'm working.
Yeah, there's big stuff coming up
Big
for
stuff.
you.
Big stuff
Yeah.
coming up, and big stuff for Alberta Dreams. So it's going to be really, really good. Was there anything else we needed to talk about? I mean,
don't know.
I'd like to keep Renato.
I know he's been switching arms back and
But
forth.
the guy's a champ. Like
He's doing a really good job.
I like to pick on him, but like he is so dedicated.
We'll definitely post a photo of the behind the scenes of what he's had to deal with for the last half an hour.
And Melanie, that WestJet flight attendant, she was even excited to meet the producer.
Yes, she said, "You're the producer, Randy," which is again just a crazy thing to happen when you hop onto a flight, and all the people around us were like, "Should we know these people?"
Because we don't.
No, you shouldn't know us. But it was a really good way to start the trip, and who knows who we'll see on the way home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's Melanie because I could use a drink or two. Right? It'll be good. Again, thank you, Network Travel, Rick, and the entire crew there. We're going to Japan, and we're going to actually try to figure out a way to a podcast from Japan. I wanted you guys to come initially, and producer Randy says, I don't have holidays for it.
Well,
so.
yeah, we went on this trip, and then you guys are going to Japan. We can't keep up with your lifestyle.
No.
We have jobs and lives at home.
I can't keep up with my lifestyle right
We
now.
also like a 5-hour flight with the baby was good.
Yeah.
And I'm not too nervous about the way home. A flight to Japan would be something else.
She could do it.
She would love the lights.
She'd do it. Her dad would be most likely to throw up, but she could do it.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
Leona
but
could do it for
we're
sure.
holding down the base at home when you go, and we'll try to maybe do our first home and remote podcast now that hopefully this one works out.
This does. Oh, and a quick shout out to
Yes.
Anthony, our neighbor.
Yes.
Anthony and James from Amazing Race. Anthony supplied us with the Zoom equipment. These are our microphones from home we brought. This stuff weighs like 97 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. We probably have lighter stuff, but I think the sound quality is pretty good. They're partying it. Boy, it's. I just looked back for the first time in like 20 minutes and it's dark.
Yeah.
But
Also, this has never happened before,
What-
this sound.
No, I don't know. Oh, they're what's the
Oh,
song?
pumped up kicks.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
got the pumped
I don't
up-
know what is going on down there, but we're going to have to go check it out.
We will. Hey, thank you for listening and have a great Monday and happy birthday. 28 years ago today, little Carter was born and changed our lives.
And he brought the podcast equipment in his suitcase,
yeah,
so
yeah, and now he's getting drunk by breakfast.
we love him.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking sheets.